Dear Disc Golf Champions, in this video I will show you what your skill level after 6 months of playing disc golf might look like. I will show you what I have learned and which mistakes you should avoid. So sit back, relax and enjoy. Starting off with putting. I'll start with 5 meters and move my way up to 20 meters. Starting off with 5 meters, that actually has never been a big problem. Of course, the first 2 months, as we can see in this graph, I had to figure out how to putt in general. But then I started taking scorecards to document my progress, and 5 meters was never a big problem. This changes dramatically as we move up to 10 meters, and it feels like that every extra meter makes it exponentially harder to hit the basket. So right now I have an accuracy that is okay, but as you can see in the first 5 months of my practice, I only made 20 to 40% of my shots. Why is that? As we move on to 50 meters, it's the same story. My problem was that in the beginning, I didn't have a distinct putting style. I just tried to mimic some pros or other players, but never actually went down and taught myself the basics and decided on a putting style. As you can see, with 50 meters, it's on and off, but I'm getting there. And the thing is, after 5 months, I picked one of the putting styles that suited me and sticked with it. And I make decent progress. As you can see, from 20 meters, I actually had a lucky shot in in that video, which is super cool. But in general, I don't hit anything from 20 meters. But now that I found my putting technique, I feel confident in practicing that technique and gaining more and more accuracy and gaining more distance as well. So how does my putting form look? I think I finally decided on copying Chris Heimberg's style of putting, where I basically bend my elbow a little bit and just move it up and down to get the height. And everything else is done with this flick and the spin. So as you can see, as I move my disc down, I bend my knees a little bit and get the disc very close to my body. I concentrate a lot. And then I move my arm to the front, give it that nice flick and stability. But as you can see, I overcorrect and I move my arm to the left, and that makes me miss the basket to the left and the right. So I have to work on that one next. Moving on to approach shots. Even after 6 months of playing disc golf for at least 3 times a week and playing a full round once a week, I still hit the tree while approaching the basket, or I still play pinball with the trees while approaching the basket. But something that is happening is I gain more and more consistency, and that's just nice. And when you have a nice approach shot that goes where you want the disc to go, it's a good feeling. Something that I strongly recommend to you is try out hyzer approach shots if you haven't done already, because it feels like the disc sticks where it lands, and that is very, very helpful if you have the space for such a shot. Distance shots, they basically differ from approach shots that I do a slow X step just to have that motion integrated into my throw and give the disc a little more speed. And this 80 meters shot was pretty cool, and this hole with 90 meters, I still get decent results. Of course, I sometimes miss to the right and to the left, but I get the disc in the general direction, and if it goes out nice and low, I reach the basket okay. My main problem is that sometimes I throw it way too high, then the disc slows down, goes to the left, and yeah, hits the water. But if I get it out low and stable, I get great results. A general tip: precision over power. If you give your shot a little less power than your max power, you will gain much more precision. And especially for tricky shots like this tunnel shot here on hole 6 in Lörrach, it's so nice to have more control over your disc. Something that I have to work on next is I don't have a forehand, so I have to use some discs that are super
understable.
And max distance, I would say 100 meters, 110 meters. Yeah. So what does my distance form look like? In regular speed, you might think, oh, that's a nice shot, pretty cool. But slowing that footage down to slow motion will reveal two errors. The first one is the bigger one. Watch my left arm. I cross it in front of my body, do this exhibit motion, whatever, and then I don't have enough space for my right arm to reach back and follow through all the way. So stupid, I have to get rid of it. And my second error you can see in this angle. I do this X step slowly, which is nice for a good rotation of my hips and upper body, but my last foot, this one, the right one, I don't plant it enough in front of my body. A lot of people talk about it, and it's something I think I can easily integrate, and something that I don't have to integrate into my shot is looking sharp at the end, because just get your hair done at the end of the throw and it doesn't matter if you hit a tree or miss the goal. Final recap, starting off with putting. Since I found my putting style, which took me 4 months to do, it was worth the time, but now I need to get consistency with this one putting style. Chris Heimberg, I'm coming for you. And while repeatedly doing this one motion, I think I will gain more accuracy and I will gain more distance. Approach shots. Basically it's the same story as with putting. I found a style that suits me, and now it's all about practice, 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 repetition. As for distance shots, it's a different story because I have two major flaws in my throw. The exhibit X movement, it's just awful because it hinders my movement a lot, but trying to get rid of it now, it's not that easy. So taking a slow motion video of your form, do that from time to time, really, before you manifest a bad habit or something. And the other one with the X step, where I need to place my right leg a little more in front of my body, I think that's something that I can integrate quite nicely. Otherwise, of course, I will work on gaining more distance over time, but that's not my biggest goal. Something that I definitely will do in the upcoming weeks and months is establishing a forehand. I haven't shot a single forehand except of getting out of some bushes, but like a first shot on a hole, I never tried a forehand. That's something I'm really looking forward to, and I will also make a video about that, so by the time in the future there will be a link up there. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Please consider subscribing to my channel or giving this video a thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if not, and otherwise check out other content from my channel. Take care!